Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Dennis is getting his coffee. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Pearl is feeling a little feisty today. 3 more weeks. She had her operation 5 weeks ago today, and she has 3 more weeks where she's not allowed to have any fun. And it's a little bit heartbreaking to have to hold her back while you let Maisie out into the snow in the backyard and she's not allowed to go. So it's hard on us too. Not as hard as it is on her. Well, I hope those of you in the LA area are safe. It's been very scary to see the pictures, and I texted Vicky, Dennis's sister. She lives in the San Diego area, which is quite some distance from LA. Not as much as I would like. She says that they also expect the Santa Ana winds there, and they're ready to evacuate if they need to. But she said they have had no measurable rain since May. Now, she lives in a dry area, but that's dry. Of course, you know, we had a drought this summer. It's only been in the last month that we've gotten out of our fire warnings, where we weren't allowed to, you know, start a fire of any kind. People have fire pits in their backyard and that kind of thing. But yeah, so it's horrifying to watch, and I hope everyone is safe. Then there's this big storm coming across the United States, coming from Austin to Nashville, which looks like Christy and Rich are in the middle of it, so I hope they're gonna do well with this. You know, I don't think that's started yet, but I'll find out. And I didn't even finish her hat yet. She's gonna need her hat. It's gonna be cold. So I think today I will work on her hat. In addition to my trove. So yesterday turned out to be a very productive day for me. Apparently promising you and myself that I would do a couple of things, and I did them. So I'm feeling pretty good about yesterday. Unfortunately, I hardly slept at all last night, so that is not fun. But I do not have to do anything physically challenging today. Although it is very windy, and I probably need to take a look at the driveway and make sure that it didn't get drifted again. The drifting, it wasn't terrible yesterday, and it only took a few minutes for us to clean it up, but you know, better safe than sorry. Because of course it drifts right across the hill part where if it's icy, it's hard to get up. But I did the things I said I would do. I did my yoga. I had one thing I had to mail. I have a couple things I should mail, and I might work on those today. I made fluff. I made popovers for dinner. I worked in the driveway. But the other thing I said I would do is I would start the front of my trove. Well, it turns out, you know, I hadn't read ahead very much, and I didn't remember from years ago when I made my other trove. I was thinking that you did the front as a separate piece, and then you know, mattress stitched them together. Not how it is. You pick up the stitches on the shoulder, and then you knit the front. So this is my head. Only it goes like this, because that's the back. This is the front. So I have the shoulders and the beginning of the front on my trove. So I've gotten to the place where I can just knit, 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 do my thing, not have to think. I did all the thinking last night that needs to be thunk for quite a while. So here we go. And so these fronts need to be as long as the back, and then they will meet and become knitting in the round. So I have that much more to knit on this piece the way it is. So, and then I join the front and the back and knit in the round, is what I'm trying to say. So I did all the thinking last night. I did the pick up the stitches, the short rows, the increases, and I was very careful to make sure that the fronts were the same in terms of the colors so that it looked congruent when I wear it. So there. I knit for quite a while. Ora and I are rewatching Vera. Well, she's not rewatching it. I don't think she ever watched it before. I'm just rewatching them in order. I'm in season 3 right now. There are 14 seasons, but as you get to the later seasons, there's only a couple of episodes in each season. I mean, even in the early seasons, there's only 4 episodes per season. So it's not, you know, there's like 50 episodes altogether. But I was able to do my thinking, do my doing, do my calculations, and do everything so I could get to the place where I could just knit, 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 and I don't have to think anymore. I need to finish Christy's hat, and I'm not that far from done. I only have about that much more to go, I think, and it's a point, so it's not very much. Right now, I'm stopped because I have to find a new needle because my cord is too small to magic loop nicely, and it's too big to continue knitting. So I will do that, and then I have to watch a video or 2 on how to make a beautiful tassel, because it's going to have a tassel at the end. And I also have to decide, is the tassel going to be all one color, or should I do a melody of colors in the tassel? Maybe I'll ask Christy's opinion on that. The other thing I did was, this is the beautiful yarn case that Christy made me for Christmas. And I had put my minis from this year in it, but I don't have a project for those minis at the moment, other than Christy's hat, which is almost done. And I'm on my last mini for that. So I need to think about what I want to do with those minis. But it seemed silly to have them sitting in this great bag when I had a good use for this bag so that I can look at my Megan minis and decide what my next color is going to be in my trove. So that's what I did. There's a bag inside this bag because those are the ones that I've used already. I just felt like I wanted to keep track of that. I'm not sure why. Because, you know. Valerie assures me that she thinks I'm not going to run out of minis before I run out of sweater. So that's encouraging. Which is not to say the same color isn't going to show up in different places in the sweater, because they are, especially because 2023 had fewer colors and just more, you know, of a color on different bases. So anyway, I'm not going to overthink. I'm not going to overthink the colors as I go. I love this pink. I'm putting the pink in. And then I did some colors that, you know, don't really jump out. This is a very variegated color that's kind of reads a little green. Variegated, very variegated doesn't really work great on this pattern. And then I decided, oh, give me a real pop of color. So, but this is just one row. Well, 2 rows back and forth of the colors. So then there's going to be another set of 2 next. And I'm trying to figure out what color I want that to be. But I also don't want to, you know, overthink it. Although I will admit that I had an idea that maybe I wanted to go with an orange next. I think this sweater is going to be amazing. I think orange. I guess I just picked it. So anyway, the Trove is a very fun knit, and I really had trouble putting it down last night. Well, I wanted to make sure that I got the 2 fronts connected, and I just did, and then I almost picked up the next color. No, I have to go to bed. My Vera was over. I had to go to bed. I thought, no, I gotta stop. But it is very potato chippy. You just don't want to stop. And for those who are relatively new, I am making the Trove by Emma Ducher. But I am not following her color schemes. She has 1 main color and 4 alternate colors that are in the, you know, that make it look like the stripes. I did one version of this using her color schemes and I really love how it turned out. So I am completely recommending following her color scheme if you don't have minis, because it turns out gorgeous. And if you're interested in the Trove. But meanwhile, we have a thread on Ravelry for the Joyous 2025 make-along. Anything that's remotely fabric art, fiber art, is eligible if it's bringing you joy. It's a year-long make-along. But making it a year-long make-along does not mean that I think it's going to take me a year to make my Trove. I certainly do not. I expect to be wearing it this winter. I expect to be wearing it in February, to be honest. If not sooner. I just really didn't want to put it down last night after I got through the thinking parts. It was getting to a thinking part that meant the reason I didn't knit the day before. But there's pretty much not much thinking for the rest of it, because it's a drop shoulder, so there's no calculations or fancy goings on to do the sleeves. There's no body shaping, you know, so I'll be picking up around the neckline to do the ribbing at the neck, but that's it. I mean, all the thinking is done. I've done all the thinking, except for the color choices, which I might overthink, because, you know, I just might. But I really want to finish that hat for Christy because it's cold in Mississippi, and get it to her. So I'll figure out how to do a tassel, although I will admit it did cross my mind to just throw a couple minis in the bag with the hat and say, here, how's your tassel making? But I want to see it finished. Of course, she would send me a picture. Anyway, I haven't decided about that. Pretty sure I'm just going to watch a video and make a nice tassel. But I am not sure about the 1-color or multicolor tassel. So now I'm really rambling. So today I'm going to knit. I'll probably continue watching Vera's. It's cold outside. I don't have any shopping to do today that I know of. And yeah, I could work on my desk here, clean it up a little bit, but I don't think there's too much urgent. I cleaned around my chair a little bit. It was getting very messy. But that's it. I might sweep. We're not expecting company. So, there you go. Yeah. And since I didn't sleep, I'm pretty low energy, so I'm not feeling very ambitious. But we do still have those potato chips to make. I might do that, but probably not today. That I talked about yesterday. All right. That's it. I did realize that I didn't do any kind of end of the year wrap up. I didn't do any kind of New Year's thinking. Well, to be honest, I haven't really done any New Year's thinking, so there's nothing New Year's thinking-ish to talk about. Although I did like Christy's idea of the bingo card and coming up with 24 things that she would like to do this year. They're sort of action-y things. And I found that a little bit intriguing. And I don't think it's too late to think about that, even though it's already like the 8th of January. But in terms of sort of wrapping up, yeah, I was in the middle of my very low mojo this year, so I only made a few things in terms of, I interrupt myself and then I don't remember what I was saying. I didn't finish a lot of things this year, and to tell you the truth, I'm very bad at record keeping. I no longer keep track of projects on my Ravelry page, and yeah, I'm not sure that I don't think I knit a sweater in 2024. I have to go back and look at my vlogs. I knit the only thing that I can think of, to tell you the truth, the only thing that I can think of that I finished was my road trip cowl that I made out of that gorgeous trilogy yarn, Unicorn Farts, that I started when I was on my road trip with my daughter. It's possible that I knit Isabel's Montrealer in the beginning of the year. But I'm thinking about my sweater wardrobe, and I don't think any of those are brand new this year. So maybe Isabel's Montrealer, but not, I don't think I knit a sweater for me. Now, my Montrealer is all but finished except for the hood. And when I finish Christy's hat, I might think about picking that up, alternating between it and my trove, because the knitting on the Montrealer will bring me joy too. So it will certainly be something that I want to do. I do want to finish it. In fact, I should finish it relatively soon because it's cold, and that's a very warm sweater, very thick and with a hood. And my trove is not going to be warm. My trove is not going to be warm. It's a light fingering. It's a fingering, and you know, I mean, it's not going to be a summer sweater, but it'll be a 3-season sweater. But that Montrealer is really what I wish I had it done. I would have worn it today. So I do need to start working on that. But anyway, I just don't feel like I have a lot of things that I finished to go through as a end of the year project. And yeah, am I looking back on 2024 as not a joyous thing? Although, yeah. Anyway, But looking forward, and if I put things like my Montrealer hood on my bingo card, I might actually fill out a few things on my bingo card. Well, one of the things that Christy had on her bingo card was like send Christmas cards. And I'm like, yeah, if I put design Christmas cards, send them, I might actually send cards this year, because I did not send any cards this past Christmas. And I apologize to everyone. Although I'll tell you the truth, I didn't get a ton of cards myself. I am not the only one who is maybe like, on the Christmas cards this year. So, but I intend to be more Christmas cardy next year. So I don't know. A few things came to my mind that I might want to put on my bingo card. So I'll think about that. But meanwhile, I'm gonna go. I've got yoga to do. I have knitting to do. And maybe a little paperwork to do. And I don't know about in the kitchen. I'm not sure what the plans for dinner are tonight. So, and how much I will be involved. I'm often not at all involved, other than the eating. But sometimes I make popovers and things, you know, little auxiliary things. But I don't think we're going to need to go to the stores. I'm going to be home, staying warm. I even wore my turtleneck underneath my sweater, which I don't usually do. But the sweater is not that warm at the top, although it might have behooved me to just wear a shawl, because I am feeling a little warm. So I may be changing. But there you go. All right, I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna go. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please. Mark your calendar. January 25th, if that's a Saturday, I think it is our Zoom in January, our first 2025 Zoom. So please come. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a wonderful time. We do. So I'm going to take my knitting back to my knitting space and proceed with my day. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please take good care of yourselves. Stay safe and stay sane.